So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Chill Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to talk about the 10th album by the band Nile, and it's called The Underworld Awaits Us All. And this is, if you don't know Nile, they're a brutal technical death metal band from the States, and they've been around since 1998. So, they are very niche in their what they sing about because they sing about ancient Egypt and H.P. Lovecraft. So every album has to do with that type of story. So the band has been going strong for a lot of years, and I think this band's 10th album is really they're really bringing it. Their last releases to me, I didn't enjoy them as much. I think the last one that I really enjoyed a lot was their 2009 album, For Those That the Gods Detest. So Nile, something very distinctive about Nile is Carl Sanders, the lead vocalist and guitar player. When you listen to him, he's got that brutal like, rah, 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 but on this album he can also sing very well. So 10 albums in, you gotta say, how do they keep getting material about Egypt and make it sound fresh? So on this one, they're concentrating more like in the underworld, like what happens when you die, probably in the ancient Egypt time. So the album starts, it's 11 tracks, 53 minutes in length, and it's got a instrumental in the middle, so it really divides the album well. So the album starts with Stellae of Vultures, which is like a 6.5 minute track, and that one starts very fast. You get those fast drumming, fast riffing, that brutal technical death metal type of style of vocals, but also as well, this is a track that also slows down a bit, so it's not like fast and pummeling all the way through, so it really builds momentum, but it's a great album opener to get you ready for the rest of the album. Now, the second track on the album, which was a single, I'm going to read this long ass title of a song. So it's Chapter for Not Being Hung Up Upside Down on a Stake in the Underworld and Made to Eat Feces by the Four Apes. Finally, I got it. I could say it. It's really a tongue twister, and just reading that song title, you get the image of being forced to eat feces, which is quite disgusting. But the song is super fast, but also you can understand, especially when he shouts feces in the song a few times. He makes sure you understands that word on that song, and you get all the imagery, and it's a pretty brutal 4.5 song, and I can't state enough. That was a great single, and the album title alone, the song title alone, is such a tongue twister that you're like, oh my god, it's kind of funny when you read it. So, great track, and then it goes into Strike with Secret Fang, and to Strike with Secret Fang is more of a short song, 2.5 minutes. So it's almost kind of now doing more like grindcore in a way, but obviously it's got the brutality, it's got the great riffing as well. So it's a great track. And then at the middle of the album, at track number 5, they have the Pentagrammation of Nefranka, which is an acoustic number one, like a 1 minute acoustic interlude that goes into the next tracks. And on that one, they bring that guitar that sounds like very Spanish type of guitar, which is something different from the band. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was tastefully put like a breather in the album to prepare you for the second half of the record. And the second half of the record, do they take it slower? No, they don't. They keep pummeling through. And some of the best tracks are on that second half of the record. For example, I love Under the Curse of One God. That is pure old school Nile in a song. It's got some great riffing to it, and it's a longer track. And Nile is able to do longer tracks and give it justice. You know, because sometimes you think with brutal death metal, like being so harsh all the time, like it wouldn't, like very long songs wouldn't work. But you know, they bring different instrumentations, and sometimes they bring those instruments that make you feel like you're in Egypt, and it's great for that. And also, there's some songs at the last songs that they bring a female vocalist on some of these tracks that gives some like different type of like feel to it, because they haven't had female vocals in their other records, so it brings something different. And like you know, it's a contrast from Carl Sanders' vocals. And one of the songs that does this great is the song "The Underworld Awaits Us All," which is like the 7.5 minute opus that, in my in my opinion, should have ended the album. This track goes through peaks and valleys. You know, it sometimes it's slower, but it picks up the pace. Great riffing again. You know, the female vocals almost like at the ending of the song really gives it a different type of flavor to the song. And to me, this track, also with the one with the long title that I'm not going to say again, are, I think, are the best songs on this record. You know, it's great. And then they end with the Lament of the Destruction of Time, which is more of like an instrumental track, very good. And also the female vocals sprinkled here and there. So would I say there's weak tracks on this record? No, I think other tracks, True Gods of the Desert, Doctrines of Last Things, Overlord, The Black Earth, all solid. Nagada entered the golden age. You know, all the tracks are great. They're very solid. And I think Nile sounds hungry. They sound like a band that is ready to like pummel you into submission with this release. I know the last few albums from them, I wouldn't say they have been bad, but I think they didn't feel as urgent as this record does. So yeah, I think The Underworld Awaits Us All is a return to form from Nile. And Nile fans are going to be very pleased with this record. So I want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of The Underworld Awaits Us All by Nile? Comment what are your favorite tracks. I would really want to know. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like and do not forget to subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourself. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.